Recording in progress. Welcome back to Two Aussie Investors. I am Anzac,
G'day.
and I have here the ever incredible, the amazing, the fantastic Grovesy.
Hey, g'day,
And the
g'day,
crowd goes
fellas.
wild. So we are the Two Aussie Investors, and Anzac here and Grovesy here, and we talk about 5 things, or more than 5 things, but we sum it up into 5 things. What are they?
NVX,
NVX, yeah.
crypto,
Crypto,
gold,
gold,
real estate,
property,
shares.
and shares. We did have a bit of an order of that, but it doesn't really work, does it? But
As long as we get the 5 points.
yeah. And you just said, what's on my hat? I went to Charlie's Chickens in DY. And
really curious as to what's on your hat.
Can you see that, Charlie's Chickens?
Yeah, I can see that now.
Yeah, I said to the guy,
the guy going like that.
No, a lovely Nepalese guy. I said, I like your hat. And when I ordered the family deal with chicken and chips and salad, he said, here, take this, don't tell the boss. And yeah, so I've been rocking Charlie's Chickens all
Nice.
day. I'm going to tell all the mums it's my new job, you know, chicken shop. Come see
Chicken
me
shop.
when you want chicken. Yeah.
Gotta love the charcoal chicken.
So we got some shout outs. Okay.
Yep.
Believe it or not. So we're doing this on the left here, Martin North. This is from Aqua 77, Martin North. What a great doomsayer. That's from last week. Remember, we did doomsayers, doomsayers.
Yep.
Gotta love his persistence.
Over the years.
Yeah, his persistence.
Yeah.
Over the years. He won't retire till he's eventually right and can have his 15 minutes of I told you so, which we said, didn't we? We said Martin North doomsayer is a what do we say? Even a broken clock is correct twice a day.
And I mean, it's the same in any prediction, really, isn't it? I mean, I can sit here now and say that there's going to be a
before we go on,
crash.
Grovesy, I'm sorry to stop you, but we forgot to do the ever important the disclaimer. Don't know why my email keeps sending me this thing there. So financial advice. This is not. We are your friends. We are your enemies. We are your acquaintances, but we are not your advisors. If you're looking for advice, don't come here. Sound good?
Go speak to your accountant or a financial advisor.
This was Rich. He said, listen to a lot of this one. Usually hard for me to listen to 2 mates having a chat when I'm not part of the conversation, which is true for everybody and anybody. Watch the video clips, got into it. Good discussions.
Thanks,
What's
Rich.
this podcast could do with an opening and a closing number? Yeah, we need a song, a good song. I know. Like a theme song along with the title page before it cuts to you and Grovesy. I like the dartboard. There it is. Oh, so the dartboard. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe NVX
Rich could do
is the bulldog.
Maybe Rich could do a special appearance and talk about crypto, because I know
he's the crypto king.
Crypto.
Yeah, he's the crypto king. Yeah.
He's the crypto king.
Yeah. Yeah. Rich is the crypto king. In fact, all the articles I get on crypto are from him. I've got crypto, and I've always said that. I've got lots of different crypto. I've got a Bitcoin, I've got Ethereum and Ripple and Dogecoin and SHIB and a few other little ones. But I believe in crypto. I do. Yeah. But he truly is the crypto king. Look, I got this text message from my mate. Shout out to Anthony Pinnell. When did you start doing this podcast? Last month. It's been fun. Thanks for the love. Doing it tonight. Give you a mad shout out. Glad you're enjoying it. Certainly shows. I think I said that too, because he truly is a mastermind of investing. When I went to school with the bloke, and when I had some coins to invest in the stock market, I actually picked his brains and it was good to chat to him about, researching, companies that you like. For example, you and I, we love NVX and what it stands for and its opportunities, but also, looking at the ups and downs of stocks and kind of, assessing it from there. Like, is it going to go up based on its trajectory? How do you say that word? Trajectory.
Trajectory.
Yeah, that trajectory. Yeah, we did it. So there you go. Big shout out to Anthony. What a legend. And it felt really good to get that reply from him. Someone that does this for a living. Like, we don't do this for a living, Grozy. We I don't know what we do for a living, but don't know. But here we are. Okay, which brings us to this is where they need the song.
NVX.
Grovesy's points of the day. Can you see that?
Yep, can see that.
Number one, NVX. Okay.
Yep.
Well, we actually don't have too much to talk about.
There's actually, it actually has, I think the only thing I could probably say is that in the next week or so, the quarterly reports will be coming out.
Yep.
And we should get some more information there. So there may be some announcements towards the end of this week before the quarterlies, or there could be some after. That's my best guess. But otherwise, it's really just been going sideways, really up, down.
Well, one day it's gone down today, which sucked. 5 days.
Yeah.
I mean, it's over the 5 days, it's up and down. 1 month, as you can see, no real change over the month, 3%. So yeah, it's all between that $6 and $5 for the whole month. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll look at 1 year.
I'd be expecting some announcements soon.
Yeah.
But I think the big announcements in the next couple of months will be Biden's infrastructure bill.
Yeah.
Once that goes through.
And how much money do you think NVX could get? How much money?
I'm guessing, but off the top of my head, I'd reckon between maybe 50 and 100 million.
Yep.
That's just a guesstimate.
Yep.
Only because I think Novonix is such a critical company for America now, particularly with Russia going rogue and China going rogue.
It's even more critical now.
Yeah, that's the only reason I say that.
I mean, we used to say NVX is critical when this COVID thing happened, which is not over, as we kind of know, or maybe it is over. But the truth is, like, when that happened, we're like, wow, it's really solidified NVX as necessary for America moving to producing EVs.
Yeah. I mean, we did not expect, what was it, $200 million from Phillips 66.
No.
That's why, that's why I say 50 to 100 million.
Yeah.
Sounds like a big number, but in reality, to scale up what Novonix want to do, they're going to need that sort of capital.
And stop me if I'm wrong. What's the name of the guy who is in bed with the government, or he's that
Admiral Natter?
Yeah, exactly.
He sits on the board.
Yep.
He sits on the board of NVX.
Yep. Yep.
And there's also Andrew Liveris, who is former Dow Chemical CEO or CFO, I think.
So I mean, these guys,
Andrew Liveris, these guys are big wigs,
rubbing shoulders with the people, the government departments that are handing out the money.
Yeah,
the millions. That's what they're doing.
And Novonix has had US government loans already.
They've already got the connections. The US government know how important they are. They're not hiding under a rock anymore.
They had the energy minister, or whatever the equivalent is they call over there, that came to the opening of Novonix.
Yep.
So that's another big indicator to me that there's some funding coming their way.
Oh yeah. What do you think they were talking about during, whether the fireworks and the NVX and, the big opening of Big Blue and all the show, and that's what they were talking about.
Well,
cash.
And, Novonix.
Plenty of cash here, Robbo. Plenty of cash here.
But also Novonix creating, 200-300 jobs in
Yeah.
That's what the governments are interested in, that because that gets some votes.
Yeah, definitely. But what can I say? Look at it's been a pretty annoying.
Otherwise,
year to date down 50%. That sucks.
Yeah, and there's been no real major announcements since the NASDAQ listing. In reality, it's just been going sideways. So, but there's definitely going to be exciting times ahead in the next 6 to 12 months.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. This is going to be huge.
It's a wait and see.
Wait and see NVX. Okay, and next point, inflation again. Inflation
is everywhere. If like we talked about last week, when I went to fill up my car again, it was like $100 for 40 litres of diesel. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
So I think the next 6 months, that's all you're going to hear everyone's going to be just talking about inflation.
Well, the election as well, that'll be a huge
point. The election's going to be about cost of living. Yeah. Well, the government's saying that they're going to they're going to reduce the fuel excise subsidy. As part of a election sweetener. So that might take, 20, 30 cents off per litre. But still, from $2.30 down to $2,
it's still unaffordable.
It's a huge issue. And I was reading an article on the weekend about stagflation.
Oh, yeah.
So, have you ever heard of stagflation?
Yeah, I remember you and I did it at school, but we did it
we learned about that at uni. Yeah.
Yeah.
So stagflation actually occurred in Germany after World War One.
Yeah.
And that was part of the reason that Adolf Hitler came to power. So
everybody was so pissed off with their government.
Yeah, because the German Reichsmark, whatever it's called, was worthless, and that basically, that's why people like Adolf Hitler came to power, because people saw a bit of hope. So I guess my point is, what's inflation going to do to the world? Will it cause another Adolf Hitler type person to come about?
Yeah, wow. Well,
like
that's
Putin.
A big call. Yeah.
We have Putin. Is Putin the next Adolf Hitler who's going to keep, trying to take over Europe?
Yeah.
Will we look back in history and look at Putin like we looked at Hitler?
Jesus. That's a big call there.
It's a big call. But inflation affects so many aspects of all of our lives, and all businesses are affected, because all businesses have fuel, use fuel in some way or another.
Oh yeah. When fuel goes up, everything goes up. Everything
goes up.
Yeah.
So
this was the Crypto King sent me this. I think the two most major issues affecting global financial markets for this year are, I thought you'd like this, US inflation, because the way the Fed tries to manage it this year will affect global markets. Read above summary. Oh, yeah, okay. And number two, global de-dollarization. Sanctions against Russia due to Ukraine invasion is paving the way for Russia and its friendly energy trading allies, China, Iran, Turkey, etc., to start using currencies other than US dollar. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? So the US dollar becoming less popular.
Which is what we were talking about the other week. We were saying that Russia will look to will look to cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, well, we'll use gold, or perhaps even Bitcoin too. Yeah, and we've actually got an article about that for international transactions. It's the largest global currency power shift since the 1970s and could spell the end of the USD as the world reserve currency. 2022 may be the changing of the guard. Very possible, and this is the article here. Russia may accept local currencies or Bitcoin for its oil and gas. This is it probably is the biggest news for Bitcoin since Elon Musk, he's all, promoting it and stuff. And Well, I'm sure there's other things that happen, and some banks talking about, you had the banks talking about using Bitcoin. I got another article about something related to that, but I'm just saying that this is big news for Bitcoin. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think for alternative currencies like Ethereum and Bitcoin,
yep,
this could make them even more popular.
Yeah,
because, once countries start using them, then you're talking big money. Then you're not talking about your small retail guys like me and you.
Yeah, I mean, it was
massive amounts of
hunters
money
just buying crypto and crazy people, and then intelligent kind of people got on board, and somewhere, somewhere along the line, it wasn't just the crazies that were buying Bitcoin. It was smart people in the rooms, and then it was companies, and then it's hedge funds and superannuation. But this is the next level, countries, and we've had El Salvador or whatever, use it. But I mean, really, El Salvador is like a mouse compared to Russia, which is a big bad bear. And if Russia are going to use it and say, you want to buy our oil, use Bitcoin, well, it's going to go nuts, the price.
Yeah. Well, and the best thing about Bitcoin, based on my limited understanding of it, is that governments can't manipulate it because it's on like a fixed register on the blockchain. You can't, there's only a limited supply. It's like gold, like digital gold. But this is where we might need Rich to make a special guest appearance.
Oh, yeah.
And explain more, because I'd like to learn a bit more about Bitcoin as well.
Well, let's have a quick listen. I'll read here. Russia is considering accepting local currencies for Bitcoin payment for its oil and gas exports, an official said Thursday. Somebody, blah, 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 blah. Friendly countries comes to its friendly countries such as Turkey, they spell it a bit weird there, and China and Russia, willing to be more flexible with payment options. We have been proposing China for a long time to switch to settlements in its national currencies for rupees and yuan, and Turkey, lira. Okay, friendly countries can also buy its natural gas with gold. Unfriendly countries, okay, Russia's warned.
The only thing I'd say to that is that from the articles I've read, China does not like their people using Bitcoin because they can't control it.
Yeah.
So will they actually accept, Bitcoin payments from Russia, or vice versa?
There's not as much mining going on in China because
the government's shutting it down.
Because of the government. But if the government's got to use it to buy gas
and to keep
oil
like
from Russia, then they're going to start making it again.
That's going to be very interesting, isn't it? Yeah, it's kind of going to go the opposite of what they've been trying to do.
And here we go. This very beautiful lady here.
This old biddy.
Janet Yellen. So let's just have a listen, okay?
Okay.
I better turn the sound on.
In particular, Russia just said they would accept Bitcoin.
Did they say that? I don't think it said that in that article. It didn't say that accepted, that considering. Did they use considering or may? May is not that they will, but may is considering. Well, there you go. Let's keep watching.
As a payment for their energy resources. What does that say to you about where we are in the crypto conversation?
Well, crypto is obviously grown by leaps and bounds. And
oh my God, look at this chick. Who does she remind you of? Like the Golden Girls? Remember that show from the 80s?
Arthur B or B Arthur.
Yeah. Oh my God. But she is a big rig. What's her title again? Janet Yellen. What's her title, Grovesy?
Is not Secretary of State. She's like I can't think of the name of it.
Oh, she's up there.
She's up there.
She's up there, and she's
One
always
of Biden's
negative
cronies.
to crypto, and saying, I think she just says, "Oh, it's just for criminals," and now she says,
and it's now playing a significant role, not really so much in transactions, but in
"Yeah, wow, not in Bitcoin's not playing a role in transactions yet. I mean, there's talk of it. There's Elon Musk. You can buy a Tesla, but this is transactions. This is transactions. Like Russia saying, use it to buy
oil or gas. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just used for, investing.
Investment decisions of lots of Americans.
Yeah.
And the president just issued a couple of weeks ago an executive order tasking us and other agencies with thinking about the regulation of crypto.
I mean, you're less skeptical about it than in we've been talking about it together for a long time now, and I think you've had a skepticism about crypto technology.
I have a little bit of skepticism because there are, I think, valid.
She's got skepticism because she's as old. I was going to say old as the hills, but I reckon she's fucking heaps older than the hills, mate. She's
a Luddite.
She's as old as the dinosaurs. This one, Jesus.
Concerns around it. Some have to do with financial.
She's like Land Before Time. She's what is it, Pangea, where all the continents were fucking combined. She was there. She was there hating on crypto then.
Financial stability, consumer investor protection, use for illicit transactions and other things. Right. On the other hand, there are benefits from crypto, and we recognize that innovation in the payment system can be a healthy thing. We would like to come out eventually with recommendations that will create a regulatory environment in which healthy innovation.
Well, there you go. So that's big news.
But the problem with governments getting involved in Bitcoin is all the Bitcoin lovers are going to hate that, because the whole purpose of Bitcoin is that you don't have government regulation.
Yeah, but
you don't get taxed.
You're right. But I reckon if we say to crypto lovers, would you be upset if governments approved it? They're all going to say, "Fuck yeah, I'd love that," because the price is just going to go up.
Yeah.
And so. But it's not like they can really control it, like it can be influenced, like gold can be influenced by the big players. But if there's that many big players that are going to get into it soon, then how are they going to control it? Governments, that's the whole point of it. It's decentralized. It can't be controlled.
It's decentralized.
I think this is it. Finally.
Cyber. It's the one.
There you go. Okay, well, that's it. Okay, interesting, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, well, it just kind of goes against the whole principle of Bitcoin, I think, in that Bitcoin lovers don't want government, they want it decentralized. So
no,
but then like you said,
but by governments, using it, does that mean they still can't control it? It's not like they can
they can if they buy a whole shitload of it.
That's true. Yeah, but imagine if you had all the big countries buying a fuckload of it, right? Like, what's the price of it now? Let's have a little look. Like, this is Aussie. Look, I know no one looks at Bitcoin in Aussie dollars. I just do. So that's 63,000 Aussie. Imagine what it's going to be if you get governments buying it, and you get Russia saying, if you want our fucking gas, you got to pay for it in fucking BTC or Ethereum or something.
Yeah,
that's big. Yeah. Let's have a little look. So it pumped last night. This is the hourly chart. We'll have a look at the day.
Yeah.
So Yeah. What do you think? I mean,
It's
people
come
just
down.
sit in, they analyze this shit. That's all they do.
Been going sideways, really, hasn't it? Since the start of the year.
Yep. Yep. But
Which is, yeah,
it
had a massive pump, mid last year, but so did the whole share market.
yeah.
It's really just, it's kind of
Two
interesting
big
to see
pumps.
it.
The first pump took it to 85k Aussie. Second pump took it all the way 94k Aussie.
Yeah,
Should have
be
sold
interesting
then.
to see. Be interesting to see a chart that if you overwrote the Dow and the fluctuations of the Dow and the Nasdaq,
Yeah.
along with the Nasdaq,
Yeah.
see whether it kind of follows or not.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about that. It has
Yeah.
seemed to follow the Dow more than it's followed the price of gold. But,
Yeah.
we were saying that we expect it to follow the price of gold a bit more as a commodity, which it is.
That's what you'd think. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Like even when, if you remember back when COVID hit, we thought Bitcoin was going to go nuts, but actually the opposite. Actually,
just
can you
follow
bring that
shares.
up and show?
Yeah. Yeah.
What? See that massive? Yeah, there's the massive dip there. That to your left. Keep going to your left.
This one.
Where's 2020? Where's March 2020? Yeah, there it is there.
Yeah.
So it had a big dip.
Yeah. I like to do this thing too, have a look at it week to week. So that's what it's looking at weekly.
Yeah.
So those two lines are just 1 week. So I think that's it there. That's the COVID dip.
Yeah. Yeah, so it actually did the opposite of what I thought it would do.
April 2021.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Okay.
No.
2020?
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
It pumped in February 2021.
Yeah. That's have you got 2020 though? Anyway, it doesn't matter, but the point is when COVID hit, we thought Bitcoin was going to go nuts, and it actually did the opposite. It actually went down, which didn't make sense at the time because I thought everyone would have went into Bitcoin to get their money out of share markets and into a safe haven type, like gold.
All right. So talk a bit about property. What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll just mention gold. We'll just talk a bit about gold. Yep. Okay. All right. So the Newcrest case for gold. The stars are aligning for gold. A combination of geopolitical turmoil, supply chain problems, and inflation all point to much higher gold prices. Today, I'll break it down. If you believe that the war in Ukraine will end soon, that global supply chains will heal quickly, and that inflation is transitory, then you're probably in for a rude awakening. In fact, none of those things is likely. Shouldn't it be none of those things are likely?
Yeah.
Even if the shooting in Ukraine stops, something that is not all that assured, the geopolitical consequences will dominate events for years or decades. Putin will have asserted Russia de facto control over eastern Ukraine, if not outright. Ukraine's hope of NATO and EU membership will be permanently denied. Isn't that true? Yeah. And the divisions in the West between US and the UK on one hand, and France and Germany on the other, with respect to energy and trade with Russia, will be on full display. So is that saying that Germany and France are still buying their gas from Russia?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But they'll be weaning themselves off it, I think, at some point.
Yeah. Well, who knows? Simmering tensions. Okay. Well, it's a long article.
Yeah.
Pick your poison. Russian exports will not stop, but they are renowned, rerouted to China, India, and the Middle East instead of Europe and the US. The result will be higher costs, longer lead times, and persistent shortages. Inflation is also not temporary or transitory. Once prices for oil, natural gas, and strategic metals and agricultural exports spike, they do not retreat unless there is something like a global depression. That's interesting, isn't it?
Or more supply comes into the market. So.
Yeah, but is that possible? What, they're just gonna
I think we've talked about before that, you know, oil companies haven't been investing in oil over the last 10 years.
Yeah.
5 to 10 years. So
yeah,
that's part of the reason why oil prices have gone nuts.
yeah.
So yeah, it's probably a fair point. But one way is to increase the supply, but then you got the environmentalists that won't like that. So
Inflation is obviously good for gold because inflation generally runs ahead of interest rate hikes. Okay. The sooner you buy gold, the better. Okay. All right. All right. So this is
and as we've talked about before, gold is a hedge at the end of the day. You're hedging.
Yep.
And it's a storage of value that you can convert your dollars into gold and hope that the gold price isn't affected by exchange. It's not affected as much by exchange rates or things like that. So yeah, it's a very good hedge in times of crisis.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Want to see Grovesy's points?
Yep.
Okay, we smashed that. Inflation again.
Yep.
And we've smashed that too. Crypto back again. NVX, we've smashed that. Rents going up.
Rents going up.
I guess.
Yep. Well, this ties into inflation as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inflation and interest rates rising, I think, as well.
I actually called my agent today, funny enough, and I told him I do a podcast, and I said I'd give him a shout out. His name's Jonathan from Lang & Simmons, DY. Shout out to Jonathan. And I said I was going to read this article tonight, and I said, "What do you reckon?" And he said, "Yeah, rents are coming up because people are coming into Australia." That's what we talked about. Like, it wasn't even about inflation and this and that. It was, supply, demand. More people are coming in and they all need places.
And we've had 2 years of no immigration as well. So.
And when that comes, the people start coming in, people start traveling, properties come off because of Airbnb and this and that reason. And let's have a look at this. So this is our mate, Michael Yardney, who we sent an email. Do you see that? I said, Mike, we used one of your articles. Is that okay? And he said, yes. Thanks, Mike.
He writes some excellent articles, Michael Yardney. So if you're interested in property, definitely subscribe to his emails.
Australia is on the verge of a rental crisis.
Yep.
Okay. Australia faces a rental crisis as national vacancy rates dip to the lowest point on record. The Domain's latest rental vacancy rates report. So the higher the rental vacant, low. If
lower
it's so low vacancy rates means there's no properties to rent, and so then prices go up.
Yeah. So if there's 100,000 rentals, that's a 2% vacancy rate.
Yeah.
2,000 rentals in the market.
Rental vacancy rate fell across all cities in February, apart from Adelaide and Hobart, which have stayed steady. The drop follows the COVID-19 trend of migration away from cities to regional Australia. We've talked a lot about that as well.
Yep.
Which lowered both demand and cost in major cities while pushing up rent prices in regional areas. Yeah. Opening the international borders also has put additional strain on already tight rental markets. Yep. So planes are coming in. I did see something where still there's a 1/10 of the people that came in last month then came in the month before COVID. So
yeah,
yeah,
that's right.
Still got a lot to go.
Yeah.
Influx of migrants, Sydney and Melbourne always have been, always will be. I guess, you know, Brizzy too. The most popular tourist destinations. Okay, all right. Monthly vacancy rates. Okay, so what do we got here? Sydney. We got February 22, January 22, February 21. Okay, so this month, last month, and this time last year.
Yep.
Sydney 1.7, last month 1.9. Yes, it's coming down. And wow, so it was heaps bigger this time a year ago. Look at that.
Yeah.
2.7.
Come down 0.9%.
Huge. Yeah, that's
Huge,
thousands and thousands and thousands of properties.
Yeah.
Let's
well,
have
look at Melbourne, even more.
Yeah.
From
I've got actually,
4.4.
funny enough, I just had a message from my tenants and they said, that's why I called Jonathan. They said they want to move out. I was managing it myself. I manage a few of my places myself. But I also do it with the agent as well, because it's all about time, Grovesy.
Yes.
Time.
That's right.
One thing nobody has enough of.
Exactly.
The more kids you have, the less
time is money.
you have. Time
exactly.
is money.
Yeah. And look at Melbourne from 4.4 to 2.1.
Yeah, wow.
That's a huge 2.3% drop.
It's half. It's half. Look at that.
But you can see Melbourne.
And Melbourne had the highest vacancy rates. And remember, Melbourne kind of it a while back, it was just the place you didn't want to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
You wanted to be in Queensland, you didn't want to be in Melbourne.
No. We were the scourge of the nation.
Yeah.
It's
true. But shit, it's come back, hasn't it? You know?
Yeah.
2.4 to 2.1, even that a month is huge.
But I mean,
vacancy rates.
You can also see that Sydney and Melbourne have still got a long way to go compared to the other cities. Like Brisbane 0.8, Perth 0.5, but that's because everyone from Sydney, well, a large proportion of people from Sydney and Melbourne went to these other cities.
Even last year, you know, like everybody was going there last year too. I know there was locking the borders and stuff too.
Yeah.
Good article, yeah.
Yeah.
Going forward, the resurgence in rental demand will most likely predominantly be in Sydney and Melbourne, which are also the two cities that saw the biggest drop in vacancy rates over February, the report said. Now let's break it down by the major cities. Okay, so there we go. Melbourne's this big dark one here. So down it comes. Is that Sydney there? That one there? Yeah.
Yep.
Down it comes too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vacancy rates remain tight, and landlords market in all capitals in Melbourne, which is sharply recovering from pandemic-induced spike. In fact, Canberra, Brisbane, Adelaide, and Perth, Hobart have vacancy rates at their lowest point since Domain recorded beginning in 2017, while Sydney 1.7 is at the lowest point since November 2017.
And look at that. Adelaide has 0.3 and Hobart 0.2. That's like I said, almost impossible for prospective tenants to find a lease.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
isn't it? Yeah.
So out of 100,000 rentals, only 300 would be available. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Right.
And that leads to other problems too. Like when you're renting and you're not happy for a reason, you're not going to you're not going to, say anything because you might be told to, get lost.
Yeah.
City
Well,
areas with the biggest
and-
monthly changes in rental rates. Okay.
Yep.
So, okay, yeah. Suburbs with the lowest vacancy rates. Brisbane, 0.1% vacancy rate.
1%. Wow.
That's like, you know, if people sniffed as a place, people are like, oh, we
Yeah.
need it. Yeah. And look, Sydney's
Yeah.
got them too, 0.2 in Camden, Melbourne, Yarra Ranges. Oh, wow. It's just
Yeah.
unheard of that. That's like, there's always going to be something available, you know.
I think isn't like 1 point, I might be talking shit here, but I think like 1.5% or around that is a normal market. Like that's a balanced market between, you know, too many rentals and not enough. About 1.5% is generally a pretty good market.
Well, I'd say where we are now, you know, Sydney being
So
1.7.
Melbourne's still got a little bit of capacity.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sydney's getting pretty tight now.
Yeah. And that'll go down. Look, if it's gone from 2.6 to 1.7, well, you know, in another year, think of all the people moving to Sydney, moving to Melbourne.
Yeah.
That's where they're coming. So that'll be under 1% this time next year.
Yeah, once you get international students as well, dropping back.
Okay, good
I guess
article.
the moral of it is that rents are going to go up.
Yeah.
So be nice to your landlord.
You know, and also, is it a good time to buy investment properties? Like we've seen houses just pump so much in value. Are we going to see?
Well, yeah, it could mean that more investors will get back into the market because the yields will go up.
Do you want to watch this?
Rates are going to go up.
This is on
Is this good?
propose, them changing.
Yes. Yeah, this
so
is
you can use super to buy a property. I mean, now you can, with self-managed super funds, you can use it for many things.
Property buyers and owners, right?
You can use it for many things with these self-managed super funds. Can you use with a self-managed super fund? Can you use it for a deposit for a house? I thought you could.
You can buy an investment property with it. But you can't actually live in it until you hit retirement age, I think is the other rules.
Really?
Yeah.
So you can't just buy it for 6 months and then move into it.
No. There's all these rules saying that you've actually got to reach retirement age, which will be like 65.
I mean, I know, people buying gold and what about shares? Can you use your super to buy shares?
Yeah, you can definitely use your super to buy shares.
Yeah.
Yep. But you can't access any of your super till you hit 65.
Okay, unless this self-managed super fund. But this is saying you can actually access your super to buy a property now.
Yeah, which is very interesting because okay, let's see what they say.
This just says to me, price going up.
Right now face a dilemma. Technically, the prospect of higher interest rates should take the edge off price rises, and there's evidence of that. But conversely, higher inflation means higher prices, and the prospect of those with debt will have it eroded by that higher inflation. Steph Nash weighs it up.
Oh, she looks cute. This is going to be good. She looks cute. Oh, continue watching. Yeah, she's cute.
Showing the rate of price growth
is that Steph Nash? I thought Steph Nash was the cute girl going inside. Fuck is this
like
guy?
some fucking economist.
You're not Steph. You're Stephanos. Fuck.
Blowing. Record transactions, double-digit price growth. That's in the rearview
Here
mirror.
she is.
This year, it's all about rising interest rates, signs of higher
She's got a clipboard, Gravesy.
inflation. Neither good for fueling.
Cockroaches on the wall. You like that? Hey, sell your house?
Beetles. I think they're beetles.
Okay, beetles, I guess. Cockroaches.
By a FOMO.
And I think that's just leading to an overall level of caution. And for vendors, they can't ask these very...
Cam Kusher, yeah, we've seen his face before, haven't we?
Yeah.
REA Group.
REA Group, yeah.
prices and achieve them like they were probably 6 or 9 months ago.
Demand for property in our capital cities is apparently moderating. Bidders are seeing less competition. The power relationship between buyers and sellers is starting to change.
So, for the first time in a long time, potential buyers have a lot more choice. And if we look at some of our metrics in terms of demand for properties, it has started to weaken a bit. It's still very strong, but it's not quite as strong as it was at the same time last year in Sydney and Melbourne.
This slowdown that we're recording, it might be a fleeting moment.
Despite buyer demand tapering out, the supply...
This slowdown that we're recording might be a fleeting moment. And it was last time, you remember? Like when we had the slowdown, when was it? 3 years ago, I said to people, look, is that the dip? Is that over? Oh no, it's just the correction, you know, it's going down further, but no, that was it. Is this a fleeting moment slowdown?
Side of the market continues to remain tight.
All listings are well and truly down compared to this time last year.
Can you hear that okay?
Yep.
Listings are down compared to this time last year. Listings are down.
We're actually down by about 17%. And so that's not normally a situation whereby you see a major downturn. It's more demand driven at this stage where there's less buyers in the market perhaps, but at this stage the sellers are not panicking, they're holding back if anything.
Inflation, it seems, might be both good and bad for the market. The RBA is tipping underlying inflation to rise 3.25% over the coming year.
That's a lot, yeah.
I didn't hear that last bit. It just
The RBA is saying 3.25% increase inflation over the next year.
Yeah, so that's outside of their targeted band. So
Yeah, it's heaps higher.
yeah,
What's their target band? 2?
between 2 and 3%.
Highest rate since 2009. While that has some prospective buyers backing off, investment opportunity.
If we do see a real breakout in inflation, I think there'll be a rush towards property once again to try and get that hedge in against a higher inflationary environment.
Property is traditionally an inflation hedge.
God, now we're going to see this again. These fucking cockroaches on the wall. Are they like they got? There's that many fucking billions of properties to look at in the world. There's millions in Australia, and they're showing us the same fucking bed and the same 2 bloody cockroaches.
Because while asset prices and rents rise, inflation erodes the real value of any debt held.
Inflation erodes the real value of any debt held.
True. But in saying that, everyone's got to get a pay rise as well. So if people don't get the pay rise, then they're not going to have the disposable income to go and purchase that more expensive property.
There are already signs of this, with the rental market starting to see stronger growth.
There you go. We called it, didn't we?
Yep.
Rental market is seeing stronger growth.
Yields for investors improve when rents rise.
At this point in time, the rental market has been well reported in Australia is very, very tight. And on our numbers, rents at the capital city level jumped by 8% over the past 12 months.
What? Rents have jumped by 8% in 12 months?
Really? Oh, there you go.
And when I look at the last 90 days, rents are accelerating from that point.
If you're an owner, inflation is actually a pretty good thing because...
Why is inflation a good thing if you're owner? This guy's
because
got written
like
2 books.
They're saying, it's going to reduce your debt quicker. Because your debt is fixed, but if your wages are going up, then it means you're paying off more of your debt.
If your wages
go up. So this is the big if.
So
like if all the companies
inflation
in
is not
Australia,
good if your wages don't go up.
Well, if your wages stay the same or even go down, then it's a killer. So
you've got your money invested in an asset. So if there is inflationary pressures on the cost to build and so forth, that effectively makes your house worth a little bit more.
So with buyer demand temporarily cooling off and asset prices naturally rising with inflation, who has the power in the buyer-seller relationship?
We've entered into the new selling season, so that autumn selling season, with a little bit less momentum from the demand side, and still some, still the right amount of supply, but it's too early to call whether we're sort of back into what we would consider a buy.
Mate, we've seen this shot of this fucking kitchen 100 times, right? I'm sick of looking at this kitchen. Sky News really needs to film a couple more. They could have come here to film this place here,
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Market, we're probably more coming back into a balanced market.
I think it's still very much a seller's market at this stage, although it is starting to move more to a bit of an...
This is who I want to see, this girl.
Yeah. But I expect
let's see her.
Throughout this year, we're going to see
not fucking Cameron Cusher, whatever his name is. Yeah.
So we'll see,
that's what we want to see. Not him. Fucking change it. There you go. Opening door.
This is a magnificent.
I like
house,
that door. Do you like that door?
Yeah, I love that door.
We should be listening. Something, what did they say? Softening the market or something?
Yeah.
So this is down with you in Melbourne, South Yarra.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very nice place.
We never even talk about that you're down in Melbourne and I'm here in Sydney, do we? We should, because that kind of gives us street credit,
We're in the virtual world.
Yeah.
The long-term view is still very positive.
I've always been consistent in terms of the advice we give around buying property, and that is you've got to have a long-term strategy. You've got to make sure that what you can buy today you can hold comfortably. You've got to make sure you've got good cash flow buffers. You've got to make sure from a repayments point of view, interest rates with a 4 to even a 5 in front of them. It's a pretty good market to be in. Property is a scarce asset, land is scarce, and so over the long term, I think you'll do quite well.
There you go. That was good, yeah?
There you go. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah. But yeah, that was an interesting point they made about the inflation is good for home. I never really thought of that it's going to reduce your debt quicker. But the big proviso is everyone gets that decent pay rise too. And, employers aren't.
Well, that came from Sydney real estate boom is officially over. And even in officially over.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, this will just take, the boom is 100% over in February when it went from nuts to normal. Okay.
Yeah.
While 10 million plus properties are showing resilience, 90% of the rest of the properties in New South Wales markets have been impacted. Yeah. Now that buyers have more options, new property listings are 13.2% higher, according to REA, than this time last year. Sellers who have got a strong reason to sell are reducing the price to meet the market. Well, that's always the way, right?
Yep.
There's a nice picture here. Where we got here? Where is that? Is that North Sydney?
Looks like Sydney to me.
Yeah, I think that's not like St Leonard's.
Yeah.
7-Eleven. If an agent is asking too much, there will be a reduction or two, then other buyers to get a bad feeling about the property that presents an opportunity. Okay. All right. Oh, well, here we go. We got a little graph. You ready? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, suburb type, medium price, average repayment. Oh, okay.
But I mean,
look at that at the top. House, Vaucluse.
6.8 million. Shit.
God,
but I mean, they're saying that the market's going back to more normal, but it had to. You can't have 25% increases every year.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic. Maybe this year will be between 5 and 10% type increase. That's a more normal year,
This has got all the properties here in Sydney.
Yeah. Look at that. Most, that's Sydney's just nuts. Every property starts with a 2.
Yeah. Is that New South
Honestly,
Wales or Sydney? I don't know.
Well,
If it's,
most of it's in Sydney, North
Yeah.
Ryde, Croydon, Burwood. Like, where do first home buyers buy in Sydney?
look at this, all the way down. Let's go right down to the bottom.
Well, at one point, you're still over $1 million. Well, there you go. Now you're getting into more reasonable, $1 million.
Go right to the bottom. Oh, it's just taking me to the top.
So, like, Darling Point. Oh, no, that's
Mossman
the
unit.
units.
Oh, okay, we're at units now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, even units.
House. Oh,
I mean, the difference between unit prices in Sydney and Melbourne is phenomenal as well.
yeah.
Like,
It must be. Here's some houses. So that's regional.
regional New South Wales.
New South Wales, because 500,000, and then
Yeah.
Point Piper unit.
$4 million.
Yeah. Aids, that's Sydney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so look, there's cheap suburbs of Sydney. It's true, isn't it? I knew a girl from Aids. You can
but
buy
where
a
the
house
hell
for
are they?
625,000 there.
But where's Ed's in relation
It's
to
like
Sydney? Like 60 k's
southwest as you can go, like Campbelltown.
Yes, what's that? 60, 70 k's out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but I guess it does show you if you really want to buy a house in Sydney, you can.
Yeah. Okay. I'm yawning.
Yeah. Might be time to wrap it up, I think.
Okay, yeah. So we've
I
done
think we've
this.
covered all the points anyway.
Done this.
Yeah.
Done Google. Done this. Your mate yelling.
Yeah.
NVX.
NVX.
And we did Bitcoin as well. Mate, that's I had this how do I stop sharing? There you go. We just did the whole thing looking at my screen.
Yeah.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was good.
Very good. Some good topics there.
Yeah.
Hopefully these topics are going to evolve over the year, I think. So hopefully people get something out of them, and so do we. We can learn as we go, and we can try and
I'm just
make some
loving these
predictions.
comments that people write up and send to me and stuff. It's great,
Yeah.
All right, mate.
More discussion, the better. And let's see if we can get Rich on.
Yeah, bloody oath. I'll ask him.
Yeah.
The crypto king.
The crypto king.
See you, mate.
All good. See you guys.